Kyle Johnson, Field Service Manager with Horton. Today we're at the Horton headquarters in Roseville, Minnesota. We're going to go over the function and diagnostics of a spring engaged fan clutch in the normally closed system, along with the normally closed sensors. These specific trucks built from 2002 on forward are equipped with a normally closed solenoid valve and normally closed sensors. Those manufactured prior to that could have either a normally open or normally closed system. But today we're working on a normally closed with a spring engaged fan clutch and a normally closed solenoid valve, along with the normally closed sensors that control the activation of the fan drive through the ECM. There can be up to 5 to 6 sensors that control the activation of the fan drive, including the engine temperature sensor, air conditioning pressure sensor, charged air sensor, along with a hydraulic cooler or a transmission cooler. There could be, like I said, up to 5 or 6 different sensors that control the activation of the fan clutch. We're going to start with the components of the fan drive system. Up here on the firewall is the solenoid valve. You have your electrical connection, your air inlet coming from the air system on the truck, and the air outlet going from the solenoid valve to the fan clutch. This is a normally closed solenoid valve, meaning that no air will flow through it to deactivate or disengage the fan clutch until the system is turned on. The reason for that, the spring engaged fan clutch, in the event of any defect or loss of air pressure, the fan clutch will remain engaged and the vehicle will not overheat and you can get it back to the shop and get it repaired. And over here we have the fan clutch. As I stated earlier, it's spring engaged. So without the vehicle not running, the fan clutch is engaged. In order to disengage it, you either have to start the vehicle or turn the key on. As I stated earlier, today we're working on a normally closed solenoid valve with a normally closed system. However, if your vehicle was built 2001 and earlier, it may have a normally open or a normally closed system. And it was very likely equipped with a Horton HTS fan drive, which is air engaged versus the Horton DM Advantage that is spring engaged. Depending on the year and model of your vehicle, the systems will be different, but the diagnostics is pretty much the same. It's just that whether you have air flowing to the fan clutch on the earlier models to engage the unit, or on the later models like the DM Advantage where it requires air to disengage the unit. So let's get started with the diagnostics. We're going to do a manual basic override of the fan drive. You can either start the vehicle or turn the key on to activate the system. I've already turned the key on, so the system is activated. And because the ECM isn't calling for any cooling, the fan drive is disengaged and is freewheeling. So if we want to manually check the fan drive, we can just simply go over here to the electrical connection, disengage the power, and the fan drive engages. So the fan drive is functioning. We'll reconnect the electrical system and the fan clutch will disengage. And at the same time, we can check the system for any air leaks. In and around the solenoid valve, your air inlet, your outlet, your air line comes all the way down here, down into the fan clutch. You have air fittings on the fan clutch in and around. You know, look and listen, and if you have some soapy water and you hear a leak, you can spray it on there. But this is the system, air system of the fan clutch. In vehicles 2004 or newer, they may be equipped with a pressure protection valve. That's a valve that's within the air system that will deactivate the solenoid valve if the air pressure gets below 90 psi. The purpose of it is a fail-safe, and if it's functioning properly, when the fan clutch or the air system gets below 90 psi, the fan clutch should engage. And then when it gets back above the pressure of 90 psi, then the fan clutch should disengage. And we're going to check that. I'm going to start the truck up and I'm going to pump the brakes to breathe down the air system to see if the pressure protection valve is functioning properly. If it's not functioning properly and the fan clutch does not engage, it'll need to be replaced. Okay, we checked the pressure protection valve and it's good to go. Everything's functioning properly. Now we're going to check air pressure right at the fan clutch. We're going to be utilizing the 99 56 45 diagnostic kit. Includes a gauge, a nylon airline, tools to inspect the fan drive and everything else. First off, we're going to install the air gauge as close to the fan clutch as possible. We're going to remove the airline from the fan clutch, install the 1/4-inch airline that's in the kit along with the gauge. We'll be checking for the air pressure coming from the system. It should be a minimum of 90 psi. Most of the truck system runs at 110 to 120. So we're looking for somewhere above 90 psi. Today we're just going to turn the key on and activate the system. You can also start the vehicle and let it run and do this with the engine running. If you don't have 90 psi going to the fan clutch, you want to check the airline going from the fan clutch all the way up to the solenoid valve, looking for any kinks or obstructions in the airline. If there are any kinks or obstructions, the airline will need to be replaced. And at that same point in time, you can remove the airline from the solenoid valve, checking the air pressure there. If the solenoid valve is not producing a minimum of 90 psi, it may need to be replaced as well. We have now completed the testing and diagnostics for the Horton DM Advantage pneumatic fan clutch. Thanks for watching.